Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Welcome back to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. Hey, to all the Patreon subscribers, all of our subscribers online, iTunes, Podbean, Patreon, and Revolver. Sorry about last week. It was Thanksgiving. Took the week off, but now we're back, baby, with an all-new episode. A great guest today. I'm very excited to have him in the Fortress of Solid Dudes. Our main man, JJ Whitehead, is here. New friend, a very successful comedian and a writer. Very good guy. I'm excited to have him on the pod. We took it easy tonight. Just chilled, talked about whatever the hell came to our brains. And since I'm still a little hungover from a golf tournament, not a lot came to my brain. We just talked and lived our lives. But you're going to enjoy the episode. You can figure out where JJ is at. He talks about it briefly, but you should check it out, jjwhitehead.net. If you want to watch this episode, there's some great stuff on here to see as well as hear. Go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye and you can subscribe. And you never pay for comedy club tickets again. We love you guys. Enjoy. And here we are, Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. I'm looking all wet and greasy because I'm growing my hair out like our guest today. Tony, how you feeling, baby?
I'm great. Couldn't be better.
Did you have a good week?
Yeah.
Happy to see you.
Had a great week.
Happy to see your big dumb head
So,
at the house.
Big dumb head's excited to be
Telling
back.
you, man. You're a good man. Aaron Marsh.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Thanks for being here,
I'm
brother.
happy to see Tony's big dumb head. I have a question about your head, Tony.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you ever met a dog with a head bigger than yours?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, St. Bernard or something.
That's a bear. That
But
wasn't
how
a
big
dog.
is that hat? You
great
got a Rainier's hat on.
A Great
Yo,
Pyrenees.
Yeah, it's a
Shout out.
size 10.
Shout
No.
out to the Tacoma Rainiers. But
Yeah.
what is the hat size?
7 5/8.
Oh, wait, you have a smaller head than me.
No, you're
7.5.
That's 1/8 of an inch smaller than mine.
Plus, it's not on his head; it's just sitting on the
Yeah.
Yeah,
top.
it's just sitting on
It's like
top.
a big
I don't wear it
Tony
all the way
yarmulke.
in. Yeah.
It's an illusion.
If I actually want to wear a hat, yeah, it's a size 10.
You
got
appear
it.
to have
Yeah,
a
thank
giant
you.
head.
So I think it's the beard. It doesn't help. And
It's an
just
illusion.
I'm everything's round up here.
Yeah.
It's just large.
Round man.
Yeah.
We love it. We love you, Santa.
Yeah, if you want to know what Tony looks
Ant-
like, go to popsockets.com.
Yeah.
We call him Anakin Santa. He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a young Santa
Yeah.
Claus.
I booked a gig that I was a young Santa, and we it should be an Anakin Santa.
But you do look like a young Santa.
Yeah. Of
Yeah, you
course.
definitely
You're
look like a
wear-
cool
I
Santa.
wear it
young
proudly.
Santa.
yeah, that's
man.
why I got the
I
job.
can see that.
And
He
our
slays.
guest this week, happy to have him here, the hilarious, new personal friend of mine, but also just a great dude and a great comedian. Aaron's known about you for a long
We've
time.
known each other for a bit, and I
Yeah.
have an oblong head. So
Oblong-headed,
Yeah.
long-haired,
Oblong-headed.
great personality.
Size 3.5.
JJ Whitehead in the house.
There we go.
Yes. I love it. We're happy to have you here, brother.
I'm happy to be here.
You don't drive,
I know how to drive,
Okay, but
I
you
do
don't.
not have a car.
but you just don't.
Yeah, I just don't.
You do Ubers,
Hands in.
I
trains.
do
Hands in.
Ubers.
Oh, yeah, here
No
we go,
car,
guys.
no car gang, right
Are
here.
we- is it my choice?
Yeah, no.
Dude, we're
Those
just...
are, yeah,
No.
it's times like that. I want to clarify that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we're all taking
chose-
the same Uber
I
pool
chose
back
this
to
option.
our houses afterwards.
It's like when I went vegetarian 10 years ago. It was more of a monetary decision.
Yeah.
It was decided by society, not by me. So no longer.
They voted beef out, huh?
yeah, like, oh, I can't afford that anymore. And it's not
What was
reduced
the
to
decision?
clear.
You're just like, I don't want to do that anymore.
No, I can't afford that
Oh,
anymore.
really?
So, yeah.
Wait, it's cheaper to Uber than cars?
Oh no, the car thing.
That's
sorry,
what I meant.
I was talking about the meat thing, but it is but it's also a pain. I lived in East Hollywood, and it's a pain in the ass parking around there.
Oh, yeah.
And just, you know what? I think overall it is cheaper, though. I looked at my bills now. It's been 2 years without it. And the lifts and Ubers add up. But
I think I'm about 2 years out of a car, and I think it is cheaper.
Yeah.
Because there's also like, there's no tickets, there's no fucking gas. You're just like all those little things, valet,
No insurance.
Yeah.
no
Oh,
insurance.
insurance, yeah.
I left
Yeah,
for
no
New
car
Zealand.
payment itself.
I did like 2 weeks in New Zealand and came back to find out my car had been towed.
And you're like, I'm never getting it back.
It got towed on like 3 days. And yeah, I was basically
Congrats
like, wow.
on the free car.
It was like
Yeah.
$1,100 to get it out of impound.
Donate it to society.
Oh, man, I could have just taken a lift to the airport for $40. So yeah, it's a purely financial, logical, and time-saving decision.
Yeah,
And it also allows you to drink
absolutely.
more frequently.
In the car.
It helps your drinking habits. I don't see how this has hindered
When
my
did you
life
start
in any way.
advertising to my stepdad?
Yeah. If they put that on the commercial.
Yeah, Aaron stepdad.
The only reason I said this is because you said that you had trouble getting over here because there was a car accident. And then you're like, I'm just
was.
going to get out of this Uber and go to a train. And it worked.
I did, and it worked. I got out on, because we were just crawling along Hollywood forever. So I got out, got in the subway. I was going to call it the underground. I got in the-
Another thing you can't do in your car. You can't be like, screw it, I'm leaving here and getting on the train.
Just leave it the side of the
You're
road.
stuck in your car.
That's exactly how your car gets impounded when you go to New Zealand. Maybe I should have used that logic when I went to the airport. I was like, this is fine.
Yeah, you just left it at gate 2. Terminal 2 is like, this is fine.
I'll be
Whatever you want
back.
to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, the officer was waving at me, but I was like, I'll be back in 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up in 2
do what
weeks.
you got to do. I'm getting on an airplane.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So it worked out all right. I got out at North Hollywood and then jumped in a lift there.
What in your life made you, you know, you're from Canada, but what in your life just made you go, yeah, I can go to any country I want at any time? I feel like when we like first got to know each other, you're just talking about all these countries you went to and all this sort of
right.
stuff. Didn't you have like fear in you? Like growing up, like I've
Wait,
never
you're
thought
Canadian?
about doing that.
Yep. Yeah, you didn't know I was Canadian?
I know you weren't American, but I didn't know where.
Oh, right.
Way
it's
too
some
friendly
weird,
for
some
America.
Weird part of America.
Yeah, the Northern America.
Some friendly, goofy
Wait,
part.
what part of Canada?
I'm from Nova Scotia. I'm a military kid though, so I'm also from Victoria, from British Columbia.
Are you familiar with the song
Close to
Smoko?
us.
Smoke up.
Smoko. You don't know the song.
Smoko. I
No, it's
can't
just this
say it.
really angry Canadian kid.
Are you familiar with the song Bud the Spud?
No.
Then we're from different parts of the world.
Okay, but all right, we'll go for a rip later and we'll catch up.
Going out for a rip.
What is
awesome.
Smoko or
Yeah.
Bud from Spud?
Bud the Spud from the ripe red mud, and he's rolling down the highway smiling.
That sounds like a
amazing.
Canadian ass song.
That is
Sounds
my
like a guy
part
I
of
would be
Canada.
friends with.
That is my Canadian anthem right there.
Smoko is a punk anthem that's Canadian about a guy who's on his cigarette break and his boss is like, hey, it's time to go back to work. He's like, no, I'm on Smoko, so you leave me alone. And that's the song over and over again. It's just like, no, I'm on Smoko.
Oh,
leave me
that's how
alone.
the
Is it
Canadians
from
have
what part of
shortened smoke
Canada?
break.
Shit, I don't even know.
You don't
dude.
know.
I don't. I'm not.
Must
on
not be Nova
Smoko,
Scotia.
I'm not
man.
in the band.
I'm on a Smoko, man.
Yeah. I'm
It
on
makes,
Smoko.
it makes sense.
So
I
leave me
guess.
alone.
Well, I'm just asking, do you ask every person you meet from Canada, you know what Smoko is?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I start.
It's such a giant, it's a giant nation.
Yeah, we could have chose Rush, but we didn't.
It's so big that we've claimed a big part of it and called it Alaska. That's how big it is.
That's true. And it even creeps down
It should
into BC.
definitely be a province for sure.
Yeah, man.
Wait,
had to
so,
keep
but
an eye
like
on
you
the Russians,
travel.
though.
Oh, so that's why you got the travel thing in you, is that you're a military kid.
Yeah, military kids. We moved back and forth a lot growing up. So each coast, Nova Scotia, British Columbia. And then I guess because Canada's part of the Commonwealth, you're given, you get 2 years in Britain, a visa when you're under 25, before the age of 25. So that's like a decision you want to make if you want to have a little
Like
European
Amish
adventure.
people going into the city.
Sure, if you want to. That seems like such an American derivation there. Any Commonwealth country would go, yeah, that makes sense. You can go to Britain for 2 years, but you're like, oh, it's like when Amish people
Yeah, that's all we can
leave
think
the
of.
farm.
Yeah, it's not America. They're gonna go see.
Yeah, that's it. So I basically, said
You
goodbye
broke
to my
Amish.
dad.
So you saw
Got
English
on the
electricity.
horse.
They were furious that you were about to break Amish.
Yeah, man. And then went to Scotland to see electricity.
Oh, I was Scottish
What'd you
electricity.
think?
That's how it went. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And it inspired me to continue traveling around the world.
You're probably gonna miss your
great.
parents, though. You know.
I discovered email. So
Did you get an
all I got to do is email the next village over. They print it off on one of
That's
those
what's
fax
different.
machine
You
things.
can't email
and
your
then they
Amish parents if you
ride
leave.
it over to my parents.
Because the Amish don't have email. They'd be like, I guess he's dead. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, Schrodinger's
You know, the
son.
Amish aren't allowed to play music? You can't have a
At all?
guitar.
Can they play their own music?
Can't have a guitar or nothing.
But that's
Because
not
that would be
electricity.
like you'd be getting glory to yourself. Like you'd be the star of that band.
What happens if they start humming while they're putting up a shed or something?
No
Nope,
idea.
you're out of
And then,
town.
like giving a
You're out of
time
town
out.
with that bullshit.
There's so many rules.
Wow.
There's so many Amish things that are very
Yeah,
confusing.
go on Smoko, come back, figure it out.
The wait, you left and you went backpacking.
Yeah, Scotland. So yeah, we get the 2-year visa. So I went over to Scotland, and then I started stand up over there. So
Yeah.
and then just started living there,
And
and
you're like, I'm gonna stay here.
that is exactly what I decided. I might as well stay here. I'm exotic.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm exotic.
I was
in
like
Britain.
such
This
a
is-
coward. I was like, I'm not going. I got to stay here in America. I don't know anything else. Why would I leave? I've got everything here.
Yeah,
But everyone
you
else
guys
I
have all
talked
the
to,
diversity you
Yeah.
need. You have Ohio. You know, you can go to
Yeah, we have football
Ohio.
teams that dress in red and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, we just don't think about it. We're like, I don't know. Like, what? How could I afford to go to Scotland? That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Moving from Seattle to LA is like a big.
Oh yeah.
It's like whoa.
Oh, totally.
Can't imagine going
Scotland,
across
like
the
just
pond.
like and be like, do you know anyone there? No. Do you know how their culture works? No idea. Where are you gonna live? I'll
don't
figure
know.
it out. Like that's such a ballsy in my mind.
What's your job going to be? I'm just going to be different than everyone.
Yeah, I'll have a backpack
We'll
full
see.
of
I'll figure it
clothes.
out.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing is if you do target Britain, they have no customer service skills whatsoever. So Americans,
Oh, we took that over here.
Canadians
over here
are
too.
actually valuable over
Really?
there.
Oh, wow.
So it's not too hard to find your first job.
That's great.
in Britain.
What
because
was your first job in Britain?
It was bartender. Yeah, it was as
It's
a
like, do you know how to make the
bartender.
drinks? Like, no. Like, well, he's friendly. Give him
Yeah,
a
it was
job.
just a friendly thing. I was like, oh, we like him because British people are miserable. British people, they have a issue with the class system, right? So they're terrible. Even when they're 18, 19 and they start working in bars, they hate doing it. They hate serving another person.
Oh, my God.
And so they're grumpy and they're like, fine, you want to drink? And there's just no eye contact or just plunking
Can't
a
believe
beer.
he wants me to get him
Yeah.
a drink. You're like, yes, you're the bartender.
So believe it or not, I mean, I know Canadians are friendly and everything, but so are Americans to a point. So
Some.
whenever we get behind a bar, British people are amazed.
Yeah.
Like, wow, eye contact and kindness. This is crazy.
Yeah, you're like,
I'll
can I have
come
an
back."
application, please? They're like, please, step behind the bar.
Yeah, what the
My
heck
friend.
what was that?
Well, that is interesting because that's catching on here in America. Like snotty teenagers working jobs and being like, ugh, like
Yeah,
that
I
guy
have
wanted
noticed
me.
that a bit.
It's happening, I think.
There's a bit of a
They don't pay me enough to care. You're like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but that you didn't say that in your application, did you?
Yeah, and I hate to say it's trickled up to Canada too. I was just in Vancouver last weekend, and that's when I realized too why you guys don't go anywhere, because I noticed even Canadians on the West Coast anyway, not like when I was living in New Scotland, Nova Scotia, but on the West Coast, they're marketed Vegas. Vegas is marketed a lot.
Ugh.
So a lot of Canadians, I think that's the holiday. That's a quick one, and I think Seattle, all
Yeah.
the coast. So no wonder everybody's kind of
I
sold.
think
Go to
we've-
Vegas and have a little.
People visit America from other countries the way we visit Vegas. They're like, oh, you know that place? Like, yeah, it's hilarious. Let's go there for a few days.
Yeah,
Like,
they
what-
simplified
and then
it
they
for
go back
Americans.
and like, oh, it's so bad.
You go to the Eiffel Tower and then the Mirage Casino in the
And
same
New York,
day.
New York.
It's, yeah.
We go do all our worst things in Vegas, and we go, wasn't that nuts? I would never live there. And then that's how I think of most people treat America.
Yeah, imagine
in general.
living there. It was a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you used to live there, did you?
I went to college there, my first year of school, and it was just like, what do you
Right.
what do you do?
He
What do
doesn't
you-
drink, he
what do you
doesn't
do?
fuck, so
Yeah.
nothing to do.
That's true.
Wow, you're counted out, man.
Yeah. Why would you pick Vegas? You thought you were gonna get wild.
Yeah.
There was no pogs or video games for you to get wild on.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we're hoping some white
They let
tiger
me
would be your
down.
best friend. You guys are playing video games all day?
Yeah.
That's
what-
what,
that's
I
what I'm
pictured
hoping for.
happening.
You
I
like
gotta
more
admit,
chickens?
because I like Vegas now, but I'm an adult. So
But what do
I
you
don't-
like about Vegas?
I like that it's a bit of a party.
The
Okay.
debauchery.
You know,
the
there's always-
debauchery.
Just a bit of a party.
It's just a tiny bit of a party. a little bit. You know, you make it out of Los Angeles, which is a small party.
Yeah.
And you get to
You get there
Las
a
Vegas,
little more. Add a little more.
tiny bit more of a party. I feel like they party like maybe a half an hour to an hour longer.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's definitely not as much judgment You could do some stuff there, and people are like, "Yeah, you know how Vegas is." Like it's all justified.
Yeah, somebody's gonna shit in the pool any minute now,
that's
anyway,
happening.
and that will overshadow what you've done. So
My first, one of my first trips to Vegas. I think my first trip was some bachelor party when I was like a real like straight laced Christian kid, and then the next time was when I was on
Tony.
Last Comic Standing, and I took Brian Moo, Andrew Slater, and a few other people and Katie Storkman. We went to a place and we got 40 ounces like on the strip. We just had these huge 40s, but they weren't like malt liquors, just like 40-ounce beer, just 40 ounces of beer. And then we bought T-shirts that said like Las Vegas, like in kitty cats.
oh, you're kicking it up there.
So we bought those. We're all wearing these cheap Vegas shirts. Mine has like kitty cats all over it. On the back, it has like kitty's butts, and then it still says Las Vegas. And then we're all having a good time, taking photos. It's great. Then I thought it would be cool to throw the 40 ounces in the street, on the strip, to like watch them break and stuff.
It's an interesting thought.
Yeah, that first one.
I'm gonna smash
People
glass.
acted like I was a terrorist or something. It's like, it's not that crazy to, when you're really drunk, to want to smash a glass bottle.
Yeah, I
pretty
get
crazy,
it.
though.
But in the street?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Especially in Vegas is always
It's always
highly
busy.
populated.
Yeah. And that's what I was just whizzing it. And everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And like, "Give me yours." And I'm like, "No, what are you?" And I was like trying to reach for it. And I was like trying to throw them.
Yeah, this sounds ill-judged,
Oh,
man.
yeah, dude. Well, I was drunk, man. Having a good time. A little bit of a party.
A little bit of a party.
And Tony and Andrew were like, "Here, dude." Like they're like so good at like dealing with Hurricane Jeff. They're like, "Just throw in this alley. How about in this alley? This alley would be cool, right?"
oh, there you go. So they kind of reined in the madness.
Yeah, they're like, "Break it here." I was like, "Oh, I'll break it here." Like,
All right. That
happy.
sounds like quite a solution, actually.
Yeah.
they met me in the middle, which
was
I
nice.
appreciate.
was
And
nice.
nobody gave a shit. I think everyone, like the tourists, were looking like, "Oh, he's a bad person," but no, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Before
because
World Star, so
that's
there
like-
wasn't any hits.
yeah,
Yeah.
and half the people on the
Right.
street, anyways, are just the clickers who are trying to give you the nudie
Oh
cards.
yeah,
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
guys
those
are the
things.
best. Those perverts.
When I came home for Christmas that year when I was in college, I got like the week before, I got as many as I could.
right. Because
from
you're a
everybody.
pervert.
Yeah, yeah. And then I no, I put them in a big shoebox and I wrapped it up and gave it to my best friend for Christmas because
Oh, tell me you're gonna say your
gift.
mom.
And free.
yeah, 'cause he had no idea what they were, and so I just gave them to him. And then like I had a really shitty roommate in college that first semester, and I was moving to another dorm. So when I left, I just got a bunch of them and put them in all of his drawers.
Nice.
Put them in like they were all over the room.
I got a bunch
Did
of them
he
and I
call
kept
one
one.
of them?
Probably.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Wait, oh, he
That's
could live
what
in
we
Vegas. I guess he should have.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, yeah, it makes no sense if you gave it to your friend back in Seattle or something.
Right, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I was
It was
thinking
just
when
funny. It was because he was just like,
Yeah, it's
"What?" He
insulating
didn't
his
even know they
house.
existed, right? Because
Really?
because he never been to if you never been to Vegas, you don't because that only happens in Vegas. You know what I mean?
But I thought this was in Vegas.
I did the all over my roommate's room in
home.
Vegas, but I took them home to give to my friend. He like opened the box, like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
He's like, "These are just naked ladies on trading cards."
Yeah, and he's calling them. They're like,
Yeah.
"We're not going to travel to Seattle."
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
it says you do travel on this card. I don't know what.
I thought it was funny the first time I ever went there. They're like clicking them at me and handing them to me, and I took one, and then all of them. The other ones saw that I took one.
They swarmed
yeah.
you.
So they're popping out of
You're like
bushes.
pigeons.
Everyone's like, "Oh, no." And so now I'm holding like 80, and I'm like, "How many women do you guys think I can sleep with? Like I'm one man. I can't sleep with all these ladies. It's gonna probably just be one
You
card."
got to put your mind to it.
Yeah, it's Vegas. Who knows? If they saw you
Couldn't
just
afford it.
hurling bottles into traffic, they might
Yeah,
have thought,
wait a second.
this guy makes
have
rash
a point.
decisions.
This guy likes
See,
to party.
Yeah, this guy might call everybody. So
They saw that. They go, "That's our target market."
this is what we need.
He's
This
our
is-
guy.
This man doesn't behave by logic.
Yeah, no.
What's good
in.
about
So
logic?
that's- yeah.
What's good about that?
Maybe
All right.
they're just trying to keep you from hurling more bottles. Fill his hands.
Yeah.
Fill his hands with something.
Breasts,
40
cards.
ounces of trading cards.
Anything
Anything.
to occupy him, man.
I did a Diamond Resorts casino recently in Vegas, and my boss and then a bunch of the other people that worked at the resorts took me to Rock and Riley's. They have a Rock and Riley's there. Did you guys know
course.
that? It's insane.
They're
I
everywhere.
don't know what that is.
No, they're
It's a
not.
bar.
They're not everywhere.
They're like in 4 or 5 cities. They're all the places where you think you'd find them.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I only knew about the one in Los
Chicago.
Angeles, and I definitely
there's one
didn't.
out
They're definitely
here.
not everywhere.
I don't think there's one in Chicago, but like there's one in New Orleans. There's one out in
Really?
Vegas, yeah. They're party
yeah.
places.
So we went to the.
I don't
and
know what Rock and Riley's is. I assume
all of them just kept leaving. My bosses, responsible people for like a corporate company, were leaving Rock and Riley's just holding glass cocktails and stuff. And I was like, I like you guys are just so gangster. You just walked out. They're like, fuck them. Like, and I was like, that's Vegas right there. Like, it's the frivolent misdemeanor. Like, that's like definitely against the rules. But they're like, oh, it's Vegas. So
Yeah.
Is it? Is it against the rules?
I thought that was
Definitely.
allowed in Vegas.
you can walk on the strip with a drink. You can't bring the glass from
I
the
think it
bar
has to be
you
in a
just
plastic
left.
glass as
Yeah.
well. I think that's the big rule. If you're gonna be out on the strip, it's gotta be on plastic. But
Interesting.
Yeah, but
you
you
know,
can drink on the street.
I
is
thought
the-
they
well,
all
it's
had the same
allowed.
plastic glass, so we could just leave at will.
No, the bars have regular glasses that they serve you in, and those belong to the bar. They're not like city community.
I
They're
don't
not
think
like
I've
bird
ever gotten
scooters.
actual glass from Vegas. I feel
They're
like
just,
everything I've
they'll
touched
turn
is
that in
plastic.
somewhere. We all trade glasses.
Yeah.
You know, it's-
Yeah.
I thought there was just some city dishwasher who just takes care of all the
yeah,
glasses
he looks
in
at
Vegas.
the branding. He's like, oh, this one goes to Rock and Riley's. This one goes to Chimichangas or whatever.
Chimichangas?
I don't know a place.
I would love to go to a
Margaritaville? Jimmy
place-
Buffett's Margaritaville? Or Toby Keith's I Love This Bar?
Oh, that's a place.
Yeah.
that's
Why
a place.
Toby Keith has a big bar that's
See, I
like
just
literally
said-
the size of like a Walmart. It's huge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Toby Keith.
I Love This Bar.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, because that was one of his songs.
Oh,
Ah,
it's awful.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Just like Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Yeah, that one just closed in Omaha.
Did it?
Yeah.
You know what's weird
thank
about
God.
Vegas though? We're talking about the brands and stuff. They really don't matter because people are just getting
It's all
shit
one
faced. They
big
go,
thing, right?
let's go in that bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it could be shitty turd burgers, and people are
Yeah.
like, "That's fine, it's here."
Yeah, this will
That is
do.
what's weird that they moved those chains there. Because if like you're just moving from your town that has like a McDonald's and like a Jack in the Box, and then you're like, let's go to Vegas. They have a McDonald's and a Jack. You're like, you didn't
Yeah.
need to come here.
Yeah.
I
I
hate
used,
that.
I used to go to ESPN Zone a lot there, but that's not there anymore.
Yeah, that was a good place that I went to in Seattle. Did they have one in Seattle?
I don't
Downtown.
think so.
You sure?
They might have, but they don't anymore.
They have
Well, when
one
I
at
come to
Disneyland.
California all the
Disney,
time.
yeah, they have one in Disney.
Yeah, we'd go there. All right, so wait, let's talk about. I wanted to hear about this. So when you moved to England, you started stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
In your circle
Scotland,
was
yeah.
you, Jim Jeffries, who anybody else we would know?
Jim didn't move. I started. So that was '99 when I moved over. Jim moved to England maybe 2001 or 2.
Did you tell him like, hey, you should come out here? It's the best.
No,
you didn't know each
we
other?
met each other on the circuit.
Nice.
We started working together. Off the Curb, the agency that I was signed with, paired me up with him. They were like, "There's this new kid who's just moved here," and so he came with me. By that time I had moved to London now, and then that's how we became friends in London. So and we got along while we were working together, and we just kept it going. We decided to move in together, and so that was Jim. At the start of my career, it was up in Scotland, so it was other like kind of Scottish acts.
What is comedy like in Scotland? Is it, I mean, like, are they?
It's the same.
It's the same in every place you went.
I think so, man.
Scotland,
Crowds
more
can be
sheep jokes?
different. Anyway. Yeah, you know what? To be fair, my first few jokes were
About
of
sheep.
course they were
Those are his
sheep
first
jokes.
jokes, though.
Of
We can't
course they were about
judge not.
Because
Oh, yeah, no,
you're
I know, I get
learning
it.
things too when you're in Scotland. Because you know that you're just reminding me now. But you learn things like that. The farmers put paint. They put paint canisters on the rams, so that when the ram sleeps with a female with a ewe or whatever, it leaves a paint mark, so that he knows it's been done.
They should do that in colleges.
And
Actually.
He knows
see,
it's
there
been
you
done.
go. See, we're now writing. This is my first.
And he's 8 years in.
Yeah, exactly. So this is it. So I used to do jokes about that because that used to blow my mind. About
That
how-
is crazy.
you know,
Would be a
and
rainbow.
then, well, there's certain exactly the sluttier sheep. There we see. I bet you in 20
Exactly.
minutes.
Hey guys, in Scotland, this is all hack, but here, this is fresh in this room.
Yeah,
This
in
is
Burbank,
fresh-
this is gonna
fresh and
crush,
new, man.
Yeah.
So to be fair, that was
That
blowing
makes
my
sense.
mind.
I get it. Yeah.
When I
that's-
started in Scotland.
Were there
ram
farmers
from-
in Scotland in the crowd like,
Oh, this again.
this is why I stopped coming to comedy clubs.
Back to the sheep paint. No, I like to think I was the first one with the sheep paint. See,
Yeah.
because nobody else had made that observation. Because Scottish people grow up thinking that's every day.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
only me who
wasn't weird for
who
them.
shows up and goes, "What the hell's with sheep? What's with paint on sheep, man?"
And they're like, this is
Who
our
are these
lives.
sheep? That's how I knew I found my niche.
You're
man.
mocking our lives.
I'm sure everybody's like, "Have you seen the Canadian guy who makes fun of sheep paint?" Oh, he's great, brilliant.
Wait, so then you moved to England and it's just the same. The scene feels the same.
Well,
Comedy.
I guess good crowd is a good crowd. I don't remember if I moved to England with my crack and sheep jokes.
Right.
But,
You scrapped those.
I think maybe I had grown out of
You
the
guys been to
butt end.
Scotland? Well, that happens in Seattle all the time, and I don't want to like pick on any comedians who might hear this from my hometown, like the guys that are still there. But they would do all these like President George W. Bush jokes, right? And then Obama gets in office. They're all very happy because it's very liberal. They're like, oh, Obama, Obama. But now they've lost hours of material because all they wrote about forever was George W. Bush, and so they'd have to like literally. I remember hearing people go like, "Man, it's so great having Obama." Remember when we had Bush? I remember one, and he would have to just do the same material.
Yeah.
Except
entirely.
it wasn't as good because he had to like remind them of stuff.
There's a comic in Britain that we talk about all the time, but back in Britain, because he used to do a gladiator joke, and that was the turn of the millennium around 2000. And it was like he was making fun of Gladiator, and then a few years later, it was like, oh, Gladiator just came out on DVD. And then a few years after that, it's, oh, Gladiator was on Channel 5 the other night. And then it's, oh, I downloaded Gladiator. So he just keeps it fresh. He keeps going.
It's
Oh, you know what?
streaming on
I saw
Netflix.
on the bargain bin the other day. I saw Gladiator. So it's the only way you can justify.
Keep it alive.
Yeah,
I'm
turning
a
out
little
this
jealous
ancient
that
joke.
works.
Yeah.
Like it was working. They're like, oh yeah, it is in the bargain bin.
Yeah, guys, remember that Russell Crowe?
I feel like that all the time with certain bits. Like Brian Mooch just used to have this best like Hillary Clinton joke ever, and then because Hillary was running, then he could do his dumb Hillary Clinton joke again, and I was like a little jealous about it. I was like, oh, that joke's from 2005. It's like so mad.
It's
I
brand
should
new
have
again.
cared. Yeah,
I know.
it's all fresh.
I know. If Michelle Obama runs, then
Oh.
we can dust it all off. Remember when her husband was the president?
What is your writing process like? How do you come up with material? Like, what do you sit down every day
Hang
and
around with
write, or
sheeps,
do you
or-
just?
Yeah, it's pretty unstructured.
Really?
I'm pretty unstructured. I always have a pen on me. So I
Nice.
do my best to encourage myself.
If you're not
to
watching
get to
this,
the
like
pen.
on Patreon, he opened his jacket. There was no pen. He goes, I always have a pen.
I always
Thank God this is audio.
have a pen. Yeah. I always have a pen. I'm wearing the wrong jacket. There is a pen on my
the word
person.
always insinuates
Ah,
there's no
so
wrong
great.
jacket
All
for
right,
this.
let's see if I
Prove
can
it.
prove that I'm
Prove
correct.
It's amazing.
Damn it. I
actually love that
really
move.
need to know that I'm not lying.
I'll give it
I
up.
always
If
have
you
that
didn't
pen,
see it, he
so-
pulled it out of his asshole.
That was like Excalibur out
It's
of
my
the sword
reserve
and
asshole
stone.
I am so disappointed though.
keep-
I prefer the move of like I always have a pen on me. I don't know, but you know what I mean. If anyone asks, I always have a pen on me.
It's an insulin pen.
You probably think of things all the time. You're very funny. We talk about the two types of people, like the writer types, and then the people that are just always kind of in a jovial, like comedic
Yeah,
mode.
I could never do the whole because I know those people who do that. I get up at 9 o'clock. Well, I write for the Jim Jeffries show, so I have to do a structured writing day for them. So
Right.
I let that kind of drive me. That's a different style. I would not have the instincts to do that outside of
Right.
my work because I just like writing as it comes. It takes. I'll take the whole day.
Yeah.
I'll go, this is the writing day, but I'll still like knock off a couple of movies, some
Right.
TV shows, and just wait for ideas to come to me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then,
I'm like, I'll play
So-
Red Dead Redemption and watch a movie, and I'm like, great, I have some Red Dead jokes and a movie joke.
yeah.
Because I think that's how like I come up with stuff is by living my life. But I try to be the guy that's like I write every day, but it's mostly me
Yeah.
looking at the internet and writing for like 30 minutes or something. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I know those guys. I know there's a guy named James Dowdeswell in Britain. Shout out to James. He's the wine guy. He's become the wine guy in his career. He does a stand-up show about wine, but he was one of the first ones when we were talking. He's like, yeah, I get up at 9 and I sit there with my coffee and I go, it's writing time. And he writes.
Yeah,
like,
I
a
do that every
structured
day,
And
but
I was like,
still-
holy cow, I can't.
I don't come up
I've
with
tried
anything
a million
good.
times, and then I just write it like a fucking just a letter to myself.
Well, what happens
Nothing's
is,
good in it.
Well,
You
what
end up
happens
writing
is
a joke
I
about
end
how
up
you can't write.
writing. I end up just writing out the things that I've wrote while I was playing Red Dead and watching that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just structuring that,
Yeah, the best jokes come to you when your mind is distracted.
or
actually.
talking to my buddies.
So,
Going
yeah.
and getting whiskey with Justin is the best. Also, because he's not a stand-up comedian, so
Right.
we don't have to do that weird thing of like, oh, who's You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's gonna happen to us eventually. Where we're gonna be like drinking and be like, "That's fucking hilarious. I want to do that." And you're gonna be like, "I kind of want to do that too." Whereas with Justin, he's not a comic, so I do it with Greco all the time. Greco's given me 75 good bits just because we're
I believe it.
enjoying
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other's
he's so
company,
fun.
and he has nowhere to use it.
When
and
I was with
Yeah, see, that's
Justin at
great.
the Lakers game, there was
Yeah.
like 5-6 moments in
Yeah.
like a 20-minute period. I'm like, we just did 20 minutes of actual material. I
and
think,
that's
just
what
back and
jokes
forth
are
at each
for
other.
me. Like that's what jokes
that's
are to
great.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I get it all out of texting. When I'm texting you all day
Oh,
or someone
yeah.
else, I'm just plucking the good parts.
Well, yeah, which is what you should do. It's still your thoughts. You
Yeah.
should never feel weird about using them. That's why like people go, I've heard you say that on stage. Like I'll like say something in a group setting and make people laugh. And then
Yeah.
when someone will be like, I've heard you say that like on stage. Or I saw you tweet that. It's like, yeah, it was my thought then and it's my thought now. I will use it
still
wherever I
feel
would like
that
to
way.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck off.
100%.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me. Like, I think, and I ran this by Aaron once before, but now I'm going to say it on the podcast. I feel like with Twitter, we're just throwing away good material.
Yeah, but it's like you just said, though. It's your thought then. It's your thought now.
Right.
Because I don't think anybody's policing. Like, there's no... And I think
That's the
they're
problem.
two
though, with
different
police, they're
audiences.
just jacking it.
Oh,
turning-
right. You think they're
Turning it
thieving
into memes or buying it, like doing it in sketches on TV or putting it
Oh,
on
right.
marketing for commercials. Like, they're just stealing ideas from real comedians. So I stopped putting it on there.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. I mean, I dip into both, but I'm not all over Twitter. I'm not all like fully committed to any kind of social media thing. And like,
I thought you were going to
throwing
say
my
just
gags
committed to
up there.
anything. I'm not
But-
fully committed to anything.
Yeah, I'm not fully committed to
Not
anything.
fully in on any
I
of this.
might go back to bartending
Listen,
soon.
I don't
so,
give a shit.
You know, just
I can take it or leave
dipping
it.
my toe in constantly. But I did have there's a couple of tweets that have grown into routines for
Right.
me, and I haven't gone back and deleted the tweet or anything. I didn't really think anything of it. But
Well, I guess here's another thought on that is sometimes people will tweet it and then leave it. And they never revisit that. They never tool it. They never turn it into a routine or a
Yeah.
bit. They think, oh, that was my tweet and that was my thought and it's over. What's next? As opposed to going like, no, that's a seedling of like a bit, I think.
yeah.
That's how they start.
So you think there's some dark hearts out there that see those tweets
Yeah.
and they go, well, he'll never use that.
Yeah,
so I'm
dude, you know how many
taking
people
it.
aren't
Yeah,
that
of course.
creative, but they have the drive and the passion and the desire
And
to
they're
be
sneaky.
successful comedians.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then they'll just use that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it all comes out in the wash and you'll see that they suck eventually.
Yeah.
Churning out Jeff Dye's tweets.
Well, not mine necessarily, but I'm saying I think
But
they
any
do
of the-
that
Yeah,
to
there's a guy named Jeff Rye.
The Mark
He's doing a lot of those.
Jeff Rye.
the Mark Normans and the Nates that are putting out all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know. So what do you like having a writer's job?
Yeah, I love it.
think I would hate it.
I like that bit of structure, and I like, and it's not an easy one too, because we're not just making up characters in a story. We're actually writing a current events
Yeah.
show. So we have to be quite structured and go, what's in the news? And then we got to finish the news thing. But there's a great feeling when you finish your script on a Thursday night. And especially for me, I didn't come into it as a political writer. I'm more of a social commentary kind of guy and anecdotes and stuff. So all of a sudden I realize, I can write jokes. If you give me news stories and stuff, I can write jokes about that. And because I used to be like, write jokes about video games or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what I write jokes about birds.
so it's fun to see that, and it's fun to feel that way on like the Thursday night. I would say is when we usually have our first drafts of our script in, and I think me and a couple of the guys we go for a drink after we
That's the best.
hit send on Thursday night, and we're all really happy with our scripts. So that's great. So I love that, and it's
What kind of
too
amount?
tough.
So you're at Comedy Central writing that show.
Yeah.
What amount of is there like, oh, we can't do that? The Daily Show just did that yesterday. Is there any sort of trying to figure out what might have been done and not
There
been
was
done?
at first. We just finished our second season, and we just got renewed for season 3. And there was at first, I would say towards the end of the first season and start of second, there was a lot of like, hey guys, can we watch the crossover and be careful of this? But I think as the second season went along, we got our own identity, and it's one of those things of like Jim's jokes just won't work for Trevor anyway. So
Sure.
So
That's true.
Thank
so
God.
you can, yeah, thank God. So you start to find that safe zone of like going, oh, we're starting to find the voice of Jim Jeffries behind
Yeah.
a desk now, and we got that, so we worry about it less. But I do remember at the end of season 1, start of season 2, there was a little bit of, hey guys, can you watch us? We actually had assigned, like I used to watch Daily Show and stuff before, like every morning or whatever, before I come into work, just so that I could make sure that we weren't doubling up on things.
Right.
But then we stopped worrying about that coming down the
I bet
stretch.
it's better to just not worry about it than to watch it and try to create something else.
Far better.
Yeah.
Far
Not just
better.
to like saving time, but like just the idea of like once that's in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, far better. I'd say halfway through season 2, we really knew like we've got our own voice now, and so we could really just stop worrying about it.
Sure.
Stop worrying about we got a good direction here. There's no way this joke in Jim's voice it can translate to Samantha Bee to any of the other other
Political.
people of that format. So that was a good feeling. It was definitely a worry in season 1, or just a concern to.
What do you
Make
do?
sure we're not
So you like
crossing
to
over.
drink, yeah?
I do, yeah.
And then you like ladies,
I like yes, I
and
like
then
ladies.
then you're into like this TV show you got there.
Yeah.
But what do you enjoy
What's the lead?
hobby wise?
What I do hobby
Yeah,
wise.
you like video games? You
He
like
likes drinking with the ladies while he watches TV.
yeah.
Yeah, but I covered all those
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't notice.
like thoroughly.
Oh, those are all 3 of the ones you covered, really.
I mean,
That was
yeah.
really thorough.
Yeah,
I've
you're
got
right.
a lot of hobbies, man.
Trying to sum you up, put you in
yeah.
a box.
Smokos or?
I like a smoko.
Yeah, you
I
smoke
like
cigars.
going out for a good old smoko.
You smoke cigars. You golf.
I haven't smoked cigars in a while. I used to work at a golf course when I was a kid. Turned me off.
Don't like golf.
Actually,
Turned you off of golfing or cigars?
It did. It turned me off of golf
The
courses.
culture of golf.
When I was like 17, I worked in a golf course, and my boss was an asshole. He was a shitbag, and he literally had a shitbag.
Oh,
he had this
no.
shitbag.
no.
And one of my biggest memories from working on the golf course was he was making us dig in a trench, digging a new trench. Like, so we're at 6 in
He's
the
digging
morning.
his trench.
6 in the morning, and his shitbag came off his hip.
Oh, no.
And we were in the pouring rain, and this bag just polluted the whole trench, and we were all getting sick. It felt like.
Was he embarrassed?
Oh my god.
No, he seemed to just take it out on all of us. Like,
Yeah.
keep digging,
Wow,
keep digging.
what are you trying to humiliate me? This is what happens.
Yeah, we were all getting sick. And anyway, and that's why I don't
Not
golf.
my fault. My second wife stressed me out. Now I gotta have this on the
Yeah,
that
so,
poor
Old mud
bastard.
bags.
yeah,
A shit bag with a shit
that
bag.
doesn't make me
That
like
is-
golf.
Oh man.
You know, not all golf
so
is
what
like
do
that.
you like?
I can
I
promise
like-
you if you go golfing again, that's not going to happen.
Sorry, but he's got the
I
PTSD
know.
at this point.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying why. I can understand why
Every
some
day's
soldiers don't
gonna-
go back to
Aaron,
Vietnam.
I want you to try to.
They're
I want
not
you
going
to
to
try
get
to.
shot at anymore.
Yeah, I want you to try to tee off when you're thinking of a shitbag hitting
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah, I know it's never going to happen to me again. The statistics have already fallen on my side.
Nah, it's
fine.
hard to putt when you're looking around for Mr. Bernesky. Like, oh, yeah, where is he at? Is he over there? I smell someone. Did someone fart or is that?
Who knows why we need to move on from things, man? But yeah,
All right.
not golfing.
Wait, so what do you enjoy? What is stuff do you play video games?
I'm trying to start again. Actually, so I used to maybe play it when I was a kid, but I loved Red Dead Redemption. I still
Ooh.
haven't got that new one yet.
Dude, that's
So I
all
haven't
we've
checked out
talked
the new
about
one.
for 3 weeks.
I really enjoyed that. I got The Last of Us.
What's that
So
one?
I've
That
played
is a
that.
good game.
And that was like I was told that was the number one game a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I got that one.
Don't get him started
and
on
I'm
the
doing
numbers of
okay
that.
with that.
It's like a zombie game,
Cool.
but
Yeah.
it's like
So I'm
I've always said zombies are such a hit in the video game world because it's guilt-free murder.
yeah.
You know, you don't feel bad.
And-
when I'm on Red Dead and I blow a woman's head off, or I kill
never
a
seen
nun,
you have
guilty?
guilt
a
over
little
murder.
small, not a lot. It's a video game, so
Like
I go,
a
it's fake.
Vegas
But
amount.
there
You
are
feel
some.
a Vegas
Me and
amount
Tony
of
have a
guilt.
gaming channel, and one time we were playing, we were twitching, and it was after some bad thing happened. Do you remember what it
Yeah,
was?
that was probably a mass shooting.
Something in the news happened that was real bad, right?
that's
And
rough.
so I, not thinking about the news, I don't watch the news. We're just twitching and talking to the fans. I'm stomping out a woman on
GTA.
on Grand Theft Auto, probably for like 7 minutes straight. She's just dead, and I'm just stomping her. And all the people, it's kind of a dark week of news, and everybody that's like twitching is like, guys, this isn't funny. Like I don't like. We didn't even
they're
direct
like, "Oh."
correlate. Like stop being nerds. Like isn't this great?
So we're like, yeah, we should probably, and then we switched to like NBA Jam because we're like, yeah, we should probably.
And Jeff stomps out a guy in NBA Jam, turns him into jelly right in the middle of it.
I don't remember what happened in society, but people were so mortified by
Yeah.
her stopping out. But yeah, you feel a
There's
little bit of
something
guilt.
every week.
Andrew Slater used to joke about that. He's like, sometimes you don't want to kill the people. You try to be a good guy. It's like some Mexican guy, and you're like, give me the files. You're supposed to kill him. Be like, just give me the files. I don't want to shoot you.
That's a terrible gamer, though. The polite
The
gamer.
conscience gamer.
Yeah.
Tell that to my buddy Justin. He's a good cowboy on Red Dead. I was like, you're a nerd.
Oh,
Some
really?
good cowboys. You got to be a savage.
You gotta
Wants
do
to
what you
wear
gotta
white
do.
cowboy boots and shit. Never get them dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see me do this in my game? You all better run.
Jeff pulled a bandana over
When I
his
put my
face.
bandana on, nobody's safe. I don't care what race, creed, gender you are. You're going to get shot and looted.
I thought about buying you a
Right.
bandana just
Yeah.
because of how important it is to the game.
Oh,
And then I was like, no, if I give that to you now, you'd go out and murder a person and forget you're in a
it
real
makes
life.
me so happy. I'm so happy every day just killing fools. And I'm also such a piece of trash, like stealing people's money and stuff, that what I like to do is shoot the horse first. The horse falls over, the guy falls off, and then you shoot him in the head. Then you get to loot him and the horse. A lot of dead horses on my game.
Nothing wrong with that strategy.
Thank you,
I think
JJ.
that works. I think
Thank you.
I think I've seen that applied in great films.
So,
Was it the Three Amigos?
Yeah. So all three of the amigos.
we're really affecting your maturity because of us, we got you back into wrestling.
Yeah,
It takes you down some notches.
Yeah, you took me to wrestling.
And then
now I
now I'm
watch
like, you like
wrestling
video
again.
games? And you're like, well, I'm trying to get back into it. Like, we're literally trying to make you
Yeah.
younger.
like bubblegum?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, because the thing is, as a comedian, because that's what happens when you start writing on a political comedy show, you forget, like, because it takes a lot to get to that point. So, because you do start watching the Daily Show a lot. You got this show opportunity, on the horizon. So you watch the news a lot. Boom, you turn into this guy for a while, and then all of a sudden you're on that show, and your hobbies had become like not really hobbies, but you just got so absorbed in all of that. So then all of a sudden you need to remember other things.
yeah.
So that's why I have a PlayStation that I've just bought, and I've started purchasing
PlayStation
things.
4?
I got a turntable. I've started a record collection
Nice.
now. I've started buying some records that just trying
Something.
Wait, whose
trying
records?
to do hobbies that help me get the escapism that I need.
What records you grabbing?
I just bought a couple of Beck albums.
Nice.
And I'm a 90s rock fan, so I've been getting a lot of Alice in Chains and
Pearl Jam.
and Mark Lanigan, Pearl Jam, and yeah, it's been great. It's,
It's exactly what you look like.
and,
You look like you'd be at all those
I love
concerts.
that. Yeah, there you go.
Like if I saw a concert from
bye.
1994 and there's you today in the middle of it, I'm like, makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this
Nova
works.
Scotia's finest.
That's how it works, man.
Yeah, you'd be at a Fugazi concert.
Wait,
for
have
sure.
you always had long hair?
I've cut it off a few times in my career, but mostly
Long hair.
Mostly long.
Do you feel like you look weird without it? Like you lose part of your
I
identity?
felt uncomfortable without it, and the couple times that I cut my hair off didn't really work out for me. In fact, last time I did it,
What does that mean?
Well, maybe it's a
well, I was
social.
told I was going to do a role in the Shawshank Redemption, a play version of the Shawshank Redemption. So this would have been the last time I cut my hair. So I'm going to say it was 2010 or 11. So I was going to play this guy in the Shawshank Redemption, and then and they were like, "Yeah, you got to cut your hair off and everything." Then I cut my hair off, and then they got some other actor, came available.
I would
might have
be
better.
so mad.
And then all of a sudden, I was like, there I was with short hair, and it's back on the comedy circuit. Not that I would have left the comedy circuit anyway,
Right.
but all of a sudden I was like,
sucks.
I felt like some of my power had gone, and I thought I was gonna do a like a transformative thing, and so it didn't happen. And I feel like that happened in the mid 2000s when I cut my hair off as well. I didn't. You don't.
I get it. No, it's a big part of the identity.
Yeah, so you just go back to what I'm comfortable with, and
Yeah, no, it's a good look for you. That's why I asked. 'Cause it was like,
That's
it is a
cool.
part of your identity.
yeah, I think so.
So for the
man.
idea of it losing it,
yeah,
you lose part of your power.
I remember in 2011, I was rocking the short hair for a while, and I had skinny ties. I was doing short hair, skinny tied, dark
Interesting.
shirt kind of thing. But it wasn't me, man.
You're in the
I'm more
vibes.
of a 90s buying Pearl Jam
Yeah,
album.
but also that's lovable.
That's
You're
the
like a
guy I am.
smiley,
Yeah,
like
totally.
funny guy. That's the hard part is like when you try to like you're most handsome, you look handsome, but then people are like, kind of a douche. You're like, no, but I'm just trying to look the best, for the opposite sex. And like, we hate you. We don't want
Yeah, we want a lovable you,
Yeah.
not a handsome you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah. You got to be comfortable with yourself.
Let me just tell you, if you buy Red Dead Redemption though, you better just
we'll see you in 3 months.
Take a few months off.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's the greatest
You said
thing
you have
I've
a
ever
PlayStation?
done.
I'm gonna try to finish this Last of Us game first. That's
It's
my.
good.
And then reward myself if I finish. How much of a child am I
there's a
still? I'm
No, that's what I
if I
did.
can finish the video
Yeah.
game that I've got,
Yeah.
then I'll reward myself.
There's a
with
sequel
it.
coming
It's
too.
you trying to
Somebody's
parent.
on
It's you
hiatus.
trying to parent yourself.
Yeah.
It's you going, yeah. Well, you know, if you do real good with this, then maybe you'll be big enough and responsible enough to get a puppy.
Terrible, isn't it?
No, I'm doing the exact same thing with Spider-Man. Once I finish Red Dead, I'm gonna get Spider-Man.
There you go.
And I know
but
that I'm gonna love
not
it.
before.
But no, 'cause I
But it's
don't
a bigger
want,
thing. He has to buy a whole console to get to Spider-Man.
and I don't want both. I don't want to like
Oh.
deal with both. Because I'm really enjoying Red Dead.
Right.
But what if I pop in Spider-Man? It's like this new exciting thing, and I just never come back to Red Dead. I'll be sad.
That's tough.
Got to finish this story.
Champagne problems, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying,
You
dude.
got some
Yeah.
big-
Best life. I'm so
big
every
champagne
day just so
problem.
happy.
Yeah,
That's why I just dive into all of them. But
Well, yeah, but all
I
you
have a-
do
I have
is
a
video
duty.
games.
Yeah, I have a duty to do it.
Yeah. This is like life.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, like e-game. So I was just in Vancouver. This is quite funny. I understand that eSports is getting huge.
It's in the
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
At the Vancouver Canucks game, they were in. So it's the Overwatch League.
Mhm.
It's called.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this is this big stadium eSports. I was at the Vancouver Canucks hockey game in Vancouver on the weekend, but they introduced the Overwatch team.
Yeah,
And
they're
they,
new
And
this
they
year.
showed some highlights on the big screen, and
people
they're
were like apeshit?
And they had, they were going apeshit on the screen, but to be honest, all the stadium of Canucks of hockey
They're like, what
fans,
the fuck
they
is
were like
this?
going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so they went, and it's like a Sasquatch logo,
That.
and they're
He's
called.
in love.
So it's like a big abominable snowman.
What is their name?
They're called the Vancouver Titans.
Good
Vancouver
night.
Titans.
And they're the same
looking
colors
this up.
as the Canucks. But it was just so funny seeing them. So this is in between periods. And the announcer was like,
Gross.
ladies and gentlemen, you got it? Your Vancouver Titans. And most of the crowd just didn't grasp
Yeah.
What are you doing?
what was going on.
Yeah.
They're like, what's happening? They don't know that video.
Yeah.
They should have briefed them all on
Sure,
how
this is
huge there it is.
Oh, that is fantastic.
And so
Seahawks colors.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
five
Canucks,
guys.
yeah, it's that hunter green,
Yeah, it's that
Old
that,
Seahawks
that
colors.
northwestern look.
Yeah.
So they wheeled out these four bewildered, kind of nerdy looking kids,
Yeah.
but no athletic.
Bewildered.
And well, they weren't, and they're just looking around, and they're looking,
Why is
looking
no one
meek and
cheering?
squeamish,
Yeah.
and
it's so crazy 'cause, like, they have a-
terrified.
The arena is out here in Burbank, across from where we get
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
And like,
An
it-
esports arena.
where
Yeah.
they do this Overwatch
Frozen
League.
something.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Blizzard, yeah.
Blizzard.
Because that's the company that made the game. The
Burbank Blizzard?
The Blizzard.
Where else would the Titan abominables come and live?
Yeah, the Blizzard Arena, and like you can go watch the games. Like they have like a stadium where they're up there on their computers.
And we get
Yeah.
coffee. Sometimes people are very excited for it.
Yeah,
They're
there's
dressed
some cute
up.
girls in costumes. They're like
There
getting
was
coffee
one
before.
cute girl.
People get the jerseys. People do it.
I've
It's
seen
this
other
whole
cute
thing.
girls across the street in line.
Let's go over there.
Yeah,
So now he's a fan of Vancouver Titans, probably because they're Sasquatch.
Dude, I'll get that shirt tomorrow.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
So that was remarkable.
yeah. It's
How terrified they were.
Yeah.
It's because they were on the bench that the Canucks were on, that the Canucks sit on during play or whatever.
Right.
And they're just these little skinny kids.
But
going,
they
what are
didn't do
trying
anything, right?
to
They were
do?
just like guests
They
of
didn't do, they
the.
can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just kind of waving.
yeah.
I thought like at
And,
halftime they were gonna like show everyone Overlord or something. Or, I
Yeah,
don't
or
know.
maybe like
Get
play
2
a
minutes on the
game and-
ice.
Yeah,
But
it was-
instead they're just like VIP guests that no one cares about.
It was
Yeah.
it was surreal because the feeling in the stadium was like, I thought, are you unveiling the new athletes? I think there are lines like that sometimes too. It's the sport of the future and all
Right.
this,
Oh, yeah.
and people just can't grasp.
I saw
How
one
is
thing.
this the athlete of the
I know, yeah.
future?
The whole stadium was filled. It was like not even a real stadium. It was like this weird obstacle course, but it was the size of a stadium, and they were racing drones.
Yep, that's a thing.
And then
Right.
trying like just go through it, and I'm just keep waiting for them to hit each other or hit the walls, but they're all just such good drone
seen-
drivers that they're just like nailing
Well,
it.
and with esports
I've
too,
seen
it's like
that.
now they're getting college teams, so you can get college scholarships by playing on the University of Washington Overwatch team.
It's huge.
God.
I feel horrible,
It's
but this is probably
crazy.
going to be bigger than hockey.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
probably gonna be bigger
Probably.
than comedy, and then we're all gonna be like, they're gonna be like, you still do
everything's
that?
bigger than comedy. Every
Don't you
it's
say
all-
that. It's all I care about.
I have to have another conversation with somebody. I've been to comedy before. I don't like it.
Oh, no.
been
People
to
have said that
comedy?
to you?
I hate those.
The
I
whole
had
genre?
one of those this week
I hate humor.
when I was at or just
Don't-
and they
don't-
can't
don't
name
make
the
me laugh.
comedian.
Laughter makes my heart feel
Yeah,
weird.
don't
I
make
don't know
me
what
laugh.
makes them
I
think
feel
they're going to
guilt.
see the same comedian that they saw in a pub in front of 12 people or
I've
something.
been to comedy
But
before.
yeah, I've been to it's like somebody saying like I don't like music. Not a fan of music.
I've seen all of
Like,
it.
I don't
Yeah,
like
but that's not all
music.
panpipes. Yeah, you can go to go see a band you
can
like.
switch it up. You can find the thing you like. It can be done.
Wait, I haven't heard anyone really say that they've been to comedy before and they don't like it.
You haven't heard that before?
No, I
Oh,
remember a
man,
girl a long time ago in high school when I told her I wanted to be a stand-up comedian or be a comedian, and she goes, "I don't like comedies. I don't enjoy that." And I was like, "Wait, like comedy movies?" She goes, "No, just in general. I like drama. I like suspense." She's like explaining to me all the kind of like movie genres she likes, and I was like, "I
Did
know,
your
but
blood
like
run
you
cold?
do enjoy like laughing." And she's like, "Not really," but they also she's like a
Jeez.
high school girl, so she's
Yeah.
probably grown
Sticking
up.
to her guns for
She's
no
not a
reason.
stupid idiot. No.
Wow.
I like horror. You're like, all right, that doesn't mean you have to hate all the other genres.
Yeah. I've picked my thing.
Yeah, that's my
I
identity.
picked my thing. When does Saw 14 come out?
That's all I care about.
That's it.
But
That's
there's even
my
laughs
thing.
in those movies. We all have a funny murderer.
That around that same time in my life, I heard a girl say the lamest thing I've ever heard a girl say, and this is just perfectly a junior high girl trying to find identity. She was having an argument with another boy her age, probably like 8th grade, and then we heard her say, "You want to know what it's like to get punched in the face by a punk rocker?"
Yeah, I like this.
Yes, please.
It was like all branded. She's just trying to like brand herself. Like
Yeah.
this is what this is what I am.
Wow. I've seen
I want
the
everyone to
variety.
spread the word. I'm a punk rocker.
The punk rockers
The punches.
got quite the variety too. There are some punk rockers I would not want to get punched in the face by, but there's a few others that I,
Yeah, but there's a lot of also real skinny ones look like they can't throw a punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get a punch by
I'll be
them.
all right.
Not a lot of them are
Some punk
chicks.
rockers have gone vegan in the last 5 years. I'll be all right.
Yeah, a lot of the punk rockers from the 90s grew up to be dads, and they're still they're like nice guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we'll be
weird.
okay, we'll survive.
So I was in New York this weekend, upstate New York though, like Plattsburgh, and I went to this big dinner after the comedy show. It was very nice, and one of the guys across from me, I don't know anyone, by the way. I knew one guy that like brought me there, and everyone else is just like a total stranger. And this guy across from me is a big guy. He's got a big beard. His name's Lowell. Real nice. He starts asking me like what I believe, just like at a late night.
Like religiously?
Yeah. And so I was like, that's a big question, Lowell. You know, like, I don't know what you want me to say. And he's like, well, I mean, like, I don't think it's that big. Like, what is it? And I was like, all right, if you want to know what I believe, like, I guess I'm more of a Taoist. Like, I believe we're all connected, you know, and we're here to love and be loved. And that's it.
Spiritual.
Yeah, it was like just kind of like a real vague answer, but I wasn't lying. And then he goes, oh, well, I was just asking because, I believe in Satanism, and I think that you expressed a lot of that in your show. And I was like, I'm sorry? Satanism?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, like Satanism is about like just doing what you want to do as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. And I was like, I don't think that's Satanism. You just described like libertarianism or like...
Isn't that anarchy as well? Or
Well, no,
anarchy
anarchy is
doesn't
okay
care
to
if you-
trample a person.
Yeah, in anarchy, you don't care if it hurts someone else.
Oh, right, okay.
You're okay to hurt other people because you're just doing what you want to do, like no rules.
Yeah.
And I was like, where did you get this? I think that's definitely not Satanism. And he's like, no, it is. I've been watching a lot of the new Clarissa Explains It All on Netflix.
Or Sabrina.
Sabrina the
Yeah.
Teenage Witch. Same
Yeah.
Melissa Joan Hart, right?
Well, it
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
be.
the same
it used
lady.
to be, yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a new one on Netflix. And they talk about like the dark world or what, you know, the under. And so now he believes he knows all these things about Satanism.
But
I want to know
because
what
of
part of your
Sabrina, the
act is
teenage
showing
witch.
that part.
Well, so the part where I talk about how it's like, if you want to own guns, have a good time, shoot up your whole house. I don't care. But also, if you want to be gay, like two dudes want to butt hump in their apartment, like let them. Like, why does anyone care what anyone else is doing as long as it's
And
not?
this guy's like, "Hail Satan!"
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was like. He was like, "Oh wow, he's a Satanist," and I was like, "No, I'm not."
Wait a minute.
Hot take. Jeff Guy's a Satanist.
Pacifist?
Yeah.
There's lots of other ways to define.
But I
Do
just
what
thought it
you
was
wanna
great that he's
do.
getting all of his information from Clarissa Explains It All. So as a kind of a giggle about it afterwards. After he left, me and the girl that was just happened to be sitting next to me, we wrote hashtag Satanism on Instagram, and we started like scrolling through the images. It is.
It is not your
It
stand-up.
is not what he thinks it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dead animals and bathing in blood. There's a lot of.
This is my kind of party.
Let me tell you,
I
it
really
is.
want to know what the crossover of hashtag Jeff Dye and hashtag Satanism.
Oh my god!
You'd be surprised.
No, you'll
Memes.
find
Just tons of memes.
zero posts.
No, that one guy. You're gonna find that one guy.
He's-
I saw a comedy show tonight. Did you guys know that hashtag Jeff Dye supports
Have you
hashtag Satanism?
have you ever
That's
put
the only
horns
one.
on your head? Have you-
No.
Okay. all
Yeah,
right.
this guy's a nut. He's a lost weirdo that gets his information from, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like animatronic cats. Is there? Do they have that in the new show?
I don't know.
Salem.
No, I think
cat?
it's probably.
I mean,
it's
Salem's
probably
definitely
CG.
gotta be in
It's
it.
probably CG at this point.
Oh, nice. But Salem's in it.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
You haven't seen it.
No,
I saw a trailer and there was a black cat in it, and I just assumed I went, "Oh, Salem." But
it's
that doesn't
taking
mean
a
anything.
different tone. It's not the same tone as the last.
Yeah, they're taking a
It's
serious
not like a
tone.
sitcom. It's like,
Yeah,
Charmed.
it's like an MTV
More
up.
serious
It's like
than Charmed.
Riverdale.
it's
and
exactly
stuff.
like Riverdale because they're like in the same
Yeah,
universe
they're
or
doing
something.
that. I think it's all filmed in Vancouver as well.
Mm.
Riverdale's filmed up in Vancouver. Yeah, they're all.
There's
So
something
Vancouver's
interesting.
this new
Turns out
edgy
JJ
place.
Whitehead is a Satanist.
Yeah.
Did you know all this stuff
Who'd have
about
thought?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Just been absorbing while I was in Vancouver. All the things they film up there. Yeah, I mean, hey, you want some more Vancouver facts?
Here, no, I got a
might as well
question.
use them while I got them. They don't have Uber and Lyft.
That's
So
ridiculous.
It's
It's like
like
Austin.
so it's like a time warp.
You guys also had the chip before us.
they're the last-
the little chip in your credit cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, way before
Well,
us.
Canadians are good at that.
Yeah, the Neverending Story.
I know, but you
before
guys
us.
have that's you guys still have checks. The rest of the world has moved on from checks, but
Not
We
us.
you guys
don't.
have-
Old people here still do.
I know, it's weird, man.
Vintage.
It's weird. You guys can't move on. There's too many. There's too many people manipulating the system. Going, we still need checks.
Yeah.
But
It's vintage.
yeah, no,
You're still
we're
listening to records.
They're the last. Vancouver's the last city with a professional sports team. Well, and now they've got the Titans, but the last city with a professional sports team that doesn't have Uber or Lyft, and it was a bit insane.
That's a strange crossover.
Yeah.
That's an interesting fact.
So that's how I found out that these celebrities that are doing with Sabrina and the Jughead
Riverdale.
one, Riverdale, they're campaigning to try to get Uber and Lyft because
Yeah.
it's insane because they're
They
all
go
out
to the
in the
open
rain
mics
and
doing
they're
bits, going,
crazy.
"Hey, you believe in no Uber here?" And
Yeah, how's this happening?
you
can't
got
believe
sheep
this.
panning each other, but you don't have Uber.
Unbelievable.
I didn't break out the sheep material this time. I have to save it for the next trip.
Oh yeah, we'll do it the next podcast.
Yeah, man.
I'd like to hear your best sheep joke.
Yeah, actually, you got it right now.
He just did it. You missed it. That was fantastic. Aaron blew it. Aaron, where can they find you this week, bud?
This week I don't remember, but next week I have a show in San Diego. I'm looking forward to doing Reds.
Nice.
Josh Nelson's Room, December 12th with Jeff Zenisek.
Good. Tony, what's going on in your world?
I have an apartment, so I got to move soon. I'm so excited. I'm
Let
not
me know.
homeless.
If you need help, I can just task rabbit someone. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do it myself.
yeah. I'm moving to East Hollywood.
Nice.
You're stopping
nice.
grounds, yeah.
Whereabouts?
Kind
Well-
of over by the college.
Okay, I was gonna say
City College?
if he's gonna say his exact address on the podcast.
Yeah.
College.
JJ,
LA City College.
where can everyone find what you're up to, man?
JJWhitehead.net. I'm on
Oh.
a .net.
Nice.
Vintage.
It's all another throwback.
It's like a
man.
check or a
Yeah, that's right.
a
I'm collecting
record.
vinyl and I'm
Yeah.
on .net. JJWhitehead.net. And yeah, and I'm in Victoria.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got
Victoria, Texas?
Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh.
No, it's beautiful out there, but I didn't know they had stand up.
Yeah, I mean it's in a bar.
Is it Yuck Yucks?
Hecklers, it's called.
Hecklers. That
Yeah.
seems
Called
like they're
Hecklers?
promoting the wrong thing.
Hecklers Bar and Grill. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hecklers Bar and Grill. It's a great gig though.
I'm playing at a gig called You Don't Have to Pay Your Bill. They're always so mad when you have to pay your
I love
bill.
gigging at give the comic shit.
Yeah, flip the comic shit. Don't tip your server. It's a really weird chain of
I think
mall.
we're on to something here.
Nice. Well, thanks for being on the podcast, man. I love
Thanks
you
for
to
having
death.
me.
You're the best. You're a good man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Friendship.
How about that episode? As promised, I told you it'd be good. I told you you'd love it, and I was right. So send us money, because, I predicted the future. We love you guys. If you want to subscribe to Patreon so you can watch future episodes, go to patreon.com/JeffDye. Subscribe there. Never pay for Comedy Club tickets again. Also, you get to live chat with us, get some gifts, have a good time. Thanks for listening. Join us next week. Bye, baby.